Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. We had a crash last episode, but I think we should be fine if we just go on from here. If I recall correctly, we were importing some wood, so let's do that again. Alright. We're bringing in a bunch from a bunch of different places. Let's bring in from Canada. There's the one from Russia. Alright, we'll bring that in. And we'll bring in more from Austria. That should get us all the wood we need. Go ahead and unpause this. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Britain's fighting rebellions kind of all over the world. Bengal, why are you antagonistic towards me? We're cordial. We're cordial. So, how is the Ottoman Empire's war with the United States? It's interesting. Number of dead and wounded is pretty high. The United States is playing a barrelful. Oh, Sweden's supporting them. Interesting. And Russia is providing a lot of military aid. At least on the financial and casualty side. I don't see any fronts here. Unless the... Ah, we have a Swedish and American naval invasions of Russia? Interesting. Yeah, it's hard to be Russia in this environment, especially with your port, with your capital right on a port. I don't know. If I were playing as Russia, I would probably find time to move my capital to Moscow just so that my capital isn't so easy to get occupied. As you can see, we're already using up almost half of the convoys we created from our massive port expansion. And there is Swedish, or Sweden's thing. Do I want to improve relations with Finland? What's their opinion of me? No, I'm not gonna. They did, the AI did have a change during the most recent update, or a few updates ago, where Council Republics in particular, Council Republics in particular, non-Council Republics are more hostile to, which is realistic. Alright, so, aircraft carriers. This is fun. So we're going to switch over from destroyers to aircraft carriers. That's going to cost us a pile of money. But it's going to mean that we're going to have even stronger convoy support. It's also going to give us a peacetime market for airplanes, which is going to be very useful. Let's take a look at the tech tree. We already have oil turbine. Arc welding would be nice. On the other hand... Oh, we're about to finish out Battleship and... Battleship anyway, so... I'll just grab... Modern Battlefleet Tactics. Right after. We're gonna have an extremely strong fleet. Flying above the waves. The bombing demonstration. A prominent proponent of naval air power, Louis Denoy has orchestrated a series of naval exercises effectively bombing derelict hulks from high above with aircraft launched from other ships. No ship can escape the devastation of aircraft attacking from above. The most effective naval munition for the future shall be a bomb from the skies, not a shell blasted from a deck. This exercise has shown beyond a shadow of a doubt that planes shall be the sword and shield of tomorrow's Navy. No Navy shall be as advanced as ours, 10% power projection, or Denoy could advance his cause better in government. He's a communist. So I don't want to necessarily put him in control of the armed forces. Not that they're not putting communists in control all the time. Yeah, I'm going to get us some extra power projection. I know we got a bunch of power projection from our navies to begin with. Wow, 7,000. It's a third of our prestige. I'm surprised that being leading goods producer isn't a larger proportion of our prestige, but it does make sense. So next up we're going to get... Oh my goodness, there's a British liberal revolt. They're a presidential republic. The intelligentsia and the industrialists. But they themselves have an internal restore council republic movement that could easily be revolutionary. Britain, you gotta get it together. We also have battleship here, which is yet another production method for the naval bases. This further increases their cost in radios, ironclads, and ammunition. But the modifiers are absolutely obscene. We're going to do it. We're going to have some weak navies for a bit. We got to not get into a war in the very, very short term with anyone with even a semi-functional navy. On the other hand, the temptation to side with the British liberal revolt over its communist enemies is very, very high. But I've made a policy of not intervening in British internal politics, except to do things like seize chunks of Ireland, which I think we can all agree is justified. And, you know, no reason to abandon that process now. It would be interesting if you were going to do like a Cold War mod or expansion pack for this game. I do think Victoria 3 is the ideal game to represent Cold War stuff with, because of the focus on resources and stuff like that. If we're going to do that, it would be interesting to do like a no-fly zone type thing with my new aircraft carriers. Man, look at the density of urbanization in France. Look at all this. France is wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling cities. Oh my gosh. Look at this level of urbanization. Wow. That is incredible. Look at all that. France is like 30-40% cityscape right now. Even the Swiss Alps are chock full of French cities. That's incredible. Let's see how my infrastructure needs are in the colonies. I think they're fine. I just figured I would check. Oh, right. I need to double check. I forgot there was a diesel trains method. Duala against... No, I'm not dealing with that. 25 infrastructure per level with electric trains, and then diesel, if you can afford it, is an additional... Can't do that math all on my lonesome, so I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, right. I was looking at infrastructure levels. Oh, Inner Mauritania could use a little bit of infrastructure. Timbuktu. A couple levels. East Sahara, a couple levels. Nigeria, you're okay. French Chad, you could use one more. Maybe two more. Senegal. And we'll just put a few in there as well. Sahara, just to make sure that we're where we want to be. Oh. North Cameroon could definitely use some more infrastructure. Gosh, I'm doing that thing where I put the button too close to the center of the state and end up clicking into the interface instead of clicking multiple times. Okay, Congo Oriental. You need to dial it back. Alright. Sorry, where was I? The multiple icon isn't far enough away from the single icon. Or isn't in the same place as the single icon. Tried to click somewhere else and ended up clicking in the same location. We got good amounts of infrastructure in these places. A lot of this massive infrastructure is from ports as well, because we did that huge expansion of naval trade infrastructure. Fez is borked, but what are you going to do? Interesting, there's a movement for theocracy in Russia. Russia's still essentially running the same politics they were running at the beginning of the game. What about you, Japan? You're back to being the shogunate. I thought Japan had something different going on for a while. Oh, Great Britain's fighting a... Oh. They're now fighting their liberal revolt. Unless... No, that's Benin. Ah, here we go. The Azande Uprising. Neat. We're still at 60.4 infamy. We're pretty notorious. We do have the capacity to conquer the remainder of the Netherlands. They're a council republic now, interestingly. That would not actually put us above our maximum infamy. On the other hand, though, I don't necessarily want to... Let me see. Nah, I'll go a little longer. No, Britain is most likely to... is the one who's most likely to interfere with us, and all of Europe is sideways with other wars, so now is a good time. Well, these guys are at the South Germany HQ. They're not they don't necessarily live there. So you're a Rhine HQ commander. You're from North Africa. Right, so you can come in here. You're France HQ. You're France HQ. IT wants an alliance. No, thank you. What I would like from you, IT, is to be a protectorate. But you will not accept. And that's okay. We can live with that. Netherlands has 14 battalions. And they're running... Oh my gosh, they're running irregular infantry and cannon artillery. Conscription centers, they're running trench infantry and siege artillery, but I don't think any of that matters. Yeah, I think we're going to win this if no one intervenes. All of our battalions of our regular army are mobilized. I think the only people who might intervene are Austria, but they're currently in a war in Benin, which, again, doesn't matter all that much for us. Oh my goodness, we have United Syndicates of America. That's bananas. I had no idea America had flipped over to Council Republic. That's wild. That was very recent. Ooh, fun. With the rural folk. Interesting. They're almost assuredly going to win their war against Egypt and the Ottoman Empire. But that's none of my business. I am chilling. I am the most relaxed French Empire anyone has ever heard of. 96 strength ratio. There. Looks like the British Republic is beating Britain. Pretty deeply in debt right now. That's nice. Australia, did you ever, like... Dominion of the British Council Republic. I'm surprised they're still involved with Britain after all this time. No one has decided to fight us over control over the Netherlands, meaning that we are going to be able to just kind of walk all over the Netherlands for this battle. We're still notorious, 85.9, but you know, infamy ain't nothing but a number. I expect this will sort itself out pretty shortly. 2 arms. And there's battleship warfare, the giants of the sea. August Romanilha's use of battleships during the ongoing war has demonstrated that these massive constructions may still serve a purpose in modern naval warfare. The young girl looked wide-eyed at the ship floating in the harbor. It looks like it took all the world's steel to build. How many such boats are there? Of this immensity, only 1, the Admiral replied. But you can be sure that as soon as our enemies find out about it, there will be 2, miss. Their presence will be a compelling argument. 10% influence from gunship diplomacy. That's pretty good, given our enormous amount of infamy. Now, by their might, we will rule the seas. 10% Navy power projection. We will put this tactical experience to good use. 6.5k progress on modern battlefield tactics. I don't need that. I'll go with influence. Get us a little extra influence. That'll translate into infamy decay. Language in the classroom. They should speak the proper language. That's not shocking. We've had that event many times. Loyalism is high. We're continuing to fight the battle for Eindhoven. Excellent. We're producing a lot of airplanes. There's plastics unlocked. This is just a production method for our glassworks. I almost never go to it. There's never enough demand for glass in a late game country played by me where I want to actually purchase. I want to actually do that. I might automate my furniture manufactories. I think I'm gonna. It's gonna make them significantly more productive. Maybe we'll do the same for the textile mills. No, that's gonna make them less productive. What about the glasswork? No, we're still doing manual glass blowing here. Tooling workshops. Let's make them more productive. Paper mills. Not much. Is that driving unemployment down? Not really. Interesting. I'm not going to go to assembly lines for any of my military equipment because I'm going to be relying on those for military stuff and I don't want to build them up too much. We've gotten a new agitator. Prudence Guillaume Kelfete. Kelfete is a name that I recognize. However, you're going to have to go. Guess one of our old agitators passed. I've got his Sigmund Freud going for a council republic. I should never have let Sigmund Freud get born in France. That was a misplay. Go ahead and conquer Gelre. 180, but 190. Well, 180 from... By the way, this line item is the one that disappears when they get below 10%. So that's how, or when they get below 0 war support. So that's how you can tell how much longer it's going to take. So we lost that 180. Now they're just at minus 14. Or no, it goes down by 90%. Yes, because war goal is likely to be lost in capitulation. That's the dialogue that you should be looking at. And we're just going to sweep in and be able to get it incorporated by the end of the game. Hey, you're coming with me. Incorporate. I'm going to go ahead and put a suppression edict on there. Go ahead and reset production methods. Infrastructure is doing well. Taxation capacity is doing well. Are we losing any taxes to unrealized taxes? We are. So we're continuing to have shortages of tax capacity, which is a surprise. Although I guess I guess I shouldn't be really surprised by this. I'm surprised by the size, though. But I shouldn't be surprised by the fact that it keeps happening. We are a large country, and we keep needing to build up more taxes. I guess I haven't really gone into the late game. See, this is one thing I wish you could see the taxation capacity shortages when you're in the build interface. So we're going to need 5 in Aquitaine, 5 in Guyenne, 5 in Poitou-Saint-Onge, 5 in Languedoc, 5 in Provence. We'll go up to 20. 5, we'll go up to 20. 5, 5, 5. Did I say we needed some in Auvergne-Limousin? Let's find out together. We need a few. So we need 2 each in Auvergne-Limousin and Rhône. And we'll do 3 in Orléans-Berry and Champagne. Well, a bunch of these ones need 3. So then we need 4 in Franche-Comté. But people need to know if the Emperor can't speak French. And I can't speak French. I'm going to keep going like this because I like even numbers. Proofs Emperor Bonaparte is a vampire, part 5. Alright, so we need 4 each, and I just did Franche-Comté. Lorraine, Champagne, Wallonia, North Rhine, and Alsace-Lorraine. And then we need 5 in Rhineland. Come on, you can do it. And then we'll do 6 in Rhineland. Now where else? Oh, we're a little short in Ireland. Interesting. So we'll do 5 levels in Ulster, and we'll do... we'll just go ahead and do 5 levels in Leinster. What do we care? We'll add some work for the telephone companies. Even out Munster. And then we got some shortages in North Africa as well. Big shortage in Oran. We need... go with a nice even 10 levels, and then a few in Constantine. Boop. Got a kind of a sad song playing. Gotta get past it. It appears that the British Liberal Revolt is winning here. What about in the south? Council Republic Britain is winning in the south. Britain keeps having civil wars. Go up in speed. Austria is conscripting. Ah, the Austrians and the Prussians are going to fight. Nothing... Something... In all the world, there's nothing surer than Prussian and Austrian armies shooting at each other. Part of the reason my population is growing so explosively is because I'm not building up a... is that I'm not getting into a lot of long wars. Oh, look at this, though. This is a thick French Empire. Look at that. Let's check the urbanization levels of Ireland. Ireland's pretty well urbanized. Nice. Not bad. A good solid empire in Africa as well. Not nearly so urban down here, but that is what it is. Quite a bit of urbanization in the Niger Delta region, though. Arts academies. That's rad. So this must be the African Arts Academy building image. That's really cool. Quite urbanized here as well. That's trade centers. Okay, so these are going to be trade centers, I'm guessing. And then, so we got some various different types of industry. Let's see how the war is going. Piling up a respectable 50,000 dead, 100,000 wounded on both sides. I think they're both using trench infantry. It just occurred to me I haven't actually checked what Prussia's production methods for their armed forces look like. Barracks. Oh, they're a squad. Oh, look at you. Prussia's up to date. Prussia is using a fully modern military. Interesting. Maybe I should take some states from them to teach them a lesson. But no, we're not going to have time for that. I started incorporating Gelre, didn't I? Yes, I did. Ulster is 2 years away from incorporation. We are extremely infamous, so I'm going to continue to dial it back. Rudolf von Richthofen. Rudolf von Richthofen. A vanguardist. Not Hermann. Hermann's the famous von Richthofen. That's the Red Baron. Anyone who played Empire Earth back in the olden days has a fond memory of playing as Manfred von Richthofen during the World War I years of the German campaign. I went back and tried it out recently, and I remembered how the final cutscene of the World War I section has Hermann Goering taking command of the of Yasta 11. It's one of those funny moments that as a kid I was like, oh, huh, weird. But going back as an adult and knowing who Hermann Goering is, you're like, oof, dark. Like that's as close as we're gonna get to acknowledging that that World War II is a thing. I still have this line item from Haitian independence payments, and I have no idea why. I'm bankrolling IT to the tune of twice that much now. Our relations are good. I genuinely feel like there should be some way to just go, hey, you don't have to pay that off. It doesn't matter to me. But I think Haiti's had some there have been some revolutions and stuff down there, and I think it's just kind of, it's gotten silly. I'm going to drop taxes again, I think. It's going to weaken our financial position, but I'm not in a war right now, and the whole economy can afford to be a little cheaper. De-automating a bunch of my industries did help me put a pin in some of these costs. Would mechanized slaughterhouses be more efficient? No. Chainsaws. this. No, definitely not. Can we import oil from anywhere? We can. Let's get some oil from Austria. We'll get some oil from Britain. Some oil from Brazil. Not much. We're still the #1 worldwide producer, which is really funny to me. But it is what it is. Anyway, lowering taxes should increase our standard of living a bit. As you can see, we've kind of evened out on standard of living. Standard of living is, of course, very high, but it's not going to get higher. It's likely not going to get higher unless we're very aggressive about expanding the reach of our global markets by doing things like opening up economies, particularly large mercantilist economies like Austria. Austria is doing mercantilism. British Republic has. How did? What on earth? So Great Britain is a council republic again, but it's a council republic led by the industrialists, the Anglican Church, and the landowners. There's still universal suffrage, too, which makes no sense. The opposition are the intelligentsia, who are anarchist. Interesting. They've got a market liberal in charge. Oh, that's wild. Institutions are still goofed, of course, but it is what it is. Let's see. Azande did get free, and now they have a communist movement. Well, at the same time, they have a revolutionary movement to let women inherit property. Absolutely excellent. And then for Russia, still doing their thing. Do I have any interest groups to suppress? I could suppress the rural folk. I bet I could get the rural folk down to 0 influence. I just can't stop suppressing interest groups. So this is my first time actually completing a run in a sort of authoritarian government style, and I have to say, I didn't think it was going to be possible without ever abandoning the traditional French internal security method of National Guard, but I've managed to do it, and I'm pretty impressed. There were a couple of times where I was thinking about how to accomplish a switch over to secret police, but I never did it. Secret police is basically the way you go if you want to do authoritarianism in Vicky 3. You basically have to do secret police. But in a method like this, you can kind of get it done, which is good because, hey. Okay, so this is the new Great Britain. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the way this run has come out. So this is the new Great Britain, but they switched over to Council Republic while they were... That's right, because the armed forces were threatening to revolt. And now they're improving relations. That's very funny. Oh, Paul Dessert died. And we had to switch over in power in the petite bourgeoisie. They're Republicans now. Neat. Paul Dessert, you were a field marshal in presumably one of the North Africa HQ. Alright, so we need a new right here. Social Democrat, imposing an explorer, communist traditionalist commander, pious. Yeah, okay, we'll go with you. And guess what? You're going to be a field marshal. Got a lot of field marshals when you're a national militia country. Anyway, this has been a good video. Now we're ending on not a crash. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you all on the other side.